Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hanging Out for a Living, where we explore the transformative power of friendship-based business relationships. Today, we're thrilled to have Yori Dela Rosa, the co-founder and vice president of the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce, joining us. For context, the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce is dedicated to serving veterans, active duty military personnel, and their families by providing a comprehensive network of community resources for education, housing, entrepreneurship, workforce management, family, and wellness services. And I'm sure I've missed one or two there, but that's encapsulated. Their mission is to bridge gaps and build sustainable partnerships deeply rooted within the Idaho and military communities. Let's dive into this exciting conversation with Yori and learn more about how the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce is making a difference through collaboration and connection. Yori, welcome to Hanging Out for a Living.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Great to have you with us. Let's dive into our questions. Can you tell us about the origins of the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce and what inspired the start of this organization?
Absolutely. Mindy Anderson, who is our president and founder, she was getting out of the military and she was trying to start her own business. And when she was doing this, she was trying to find resources that she could use for veterans, like entrepreneurship organizations that might be able to help her as a veteran. And when she was doing her research, she realized that there really wasn't anything out there that kind of encompassed all of the things, like a one-stop shop. Like, when you're on a military base, everything's right there, right? So like
Yep.
you just go to one place and it's all right there. You don't have to go around. Well, she had that idea. And I'm a military spouse, so I don't have the same experience as she does. So she's definitely the brains behind it. And when she came to me and said, "Hey, do you want to start a chamber?" And I was like, "Sure, what's that?" We had this idea. We volunteered for the first a year and a half or so, and we just were trying to get our name out there, trying to let people know that what we did, what we were about. All of our services are free. Got our nonprofit status, and then started applying for grants. So yeah, and then we were just blessed with a workforce development council grant that definitely helped us launch our navigation services. So that was kind of the brains behind it. And she just she's got all sorts of great ideas, and this was one of the best ones. And we didn't know at the time when we started it that there are a few other states that have chambers, but not that many.
Right.
So in that process of doing that, we started to there was like a New Jersey Chamber of Commerce. We started to collaborate with them and start a U.S. coalition of veterans chambers. So there's a group of us who have our own veterans chambers in each respective state, and though they have what we really want to do is have all the states be able to have one. So yeah, we started doing that, and I guess that's the origin behind the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce.
No, that's a wonderful story, and thank you to you and your husband and family, and also to Mindy. I know her husband as well, Air Force, correct? For your
Yes.
service. We really, oh my gosh, just it's yeah, being a military family or being a spouse of a military personnel. God bless you all. Thank
Oh,
you
thank
so
you.
much
That
for your
was one of
service.
the things that we definitely want to include too. And when we did our, first mission and vision, we wanted to include the spouses and the families. And we don't discriminate anyone. You're an uncle or an aunt or a sister or brother, if you want to join our membership in the state of Idaho because you have a family member that served, we want you to be a part of it so you know what's going on and you can get our emails and things like that. So
Absolutely.
we are totally encompassed of the entire family, parents, whatever. So yeah.
I love that. That's awesome. And so, how does the Chamber's mission of providing like wraparound services and a navigation network hub really translate into real world impact for veterans and their families?
Well, I guess going back to like the mission and the vision that we had is that we wanted to make sure that, when a member was getting out of the military or maybe had been out for a while, that they could reach out to us for all the things that they could possibly need. I
Sure.
mean, anyone can reach out to us for anything. And if we don't, provide the resource, we will find somebody who does. So we just want to make sure that you're not calling a 1-800 number. We want to make sure that you're finding a local person that you can get a hold of that can actually help you. So if you are getting out of the military and you want to, now you need help finding a job because you've been in the military for 25 years and all
Sure.
you know is the military. That is one thing that we help with. We have an employer network, so we have big companies in the state of Idaho that want to hire veterans, and
Oh,
so we might have a candidate that comes out and they want to do something totally different than they did in the military. And then we can say, like Idaho Power, we can say, we have this military member who has all this experience, and we can, collaborate with them to find them a job. So that's just one instance, I guess. Our workforce is one of our biggest entrepreneur or our navigation services.
sure.
That and entrepreneur, feel like are the one of our biggest ones. We're very, very busy in those two. So yeah.
That's wonderful. I love all the resources that you have and how you're so heart-centered. Um, what are some of the key partnerships and collaborations that have been essential to the success of your chamber?
Oh my gosh. That's such a
Yeah.
loaded question.
Well,
Like I
yeah,
said,
I
so
figured.
yeah. Well, we work with the Idaho Department of Labor. We collaborate with them.
Okay.
And then the Workforce Development Council, a lot of different organizations within the state, and then just even like small companies in the state of Idaho. Maybe like Idaho Power is huge, right? But we have
Sure.
like small companies who want to hire veterans. So maybe just like a mom and pop store that is wanting just to hire veterans. We work with all of these because we want to make sure that the people understand that people do want to hire veterans. They just sometimes aren't sure how to do it, and so we want to make sure
Exactly.
that they're knowledgeable on how to do that, and that we can be a resource in finding those veterans for them to get those positions. So yeah, I would say that there's anyone in the state of Idaho that we can collaborate with to make veterans' lives easier,
Sure.
in finding a job or starting a business. Like in business for our entrepreneurship, we work with the SBA, the Small Business Association,
Yep.
and then for housing, we do like the Housing Authority and things like that because we do have a housing education. We have a quarterly call with all of the institutions in the state of Idaho, the higher education institutions, where we can make sure that veterans are being able to use their education benefits because a lot of them don't know how to use it once they get out. Like they're not exactly sure where to go, how to use it. So we just want to make sure that we have all of the resources that they can obtain to be able to use their education benefits. So yeah.
Absolutely. Love it. So let's close out our questions with this last one. Can you
Sure.
share a success story that highlights the difference your organization has made in the lives of veterans or military families?
Well, I was thinking about this. I was like, oh man, there's so many. I guess mine are the ones that I can like physically see, I guess. And
Okay.
so we did like a housing project. We've done a lot of housing projects, but there was one that really touched my heart. There was a gentleman, he was a Navy veteran, and he had a house that was just falling apart. Like he had a lot of things that had to be done. He had a broken window and the siding was coming off. And so we went in and got volunteers and we redid everything that needed to be done in his house and we painted it and he wanted, oh gosh, I can't remember, ships away, navy blue, and some gray color that had to do with the navy. So
I love
he
it.
we painted his house the color of the navy colors, and he was so emotional at the very
I
end,
bet.
and it was just so touching. And there's so many of those stories that I could share with you, but that was one of the ones, and that was like one of the first ones that we ever did. And then maybe that's why it's so touching to me because it was like one of the first ones that as a chamber we were able to go out and do and fix this gentleman's house that couldn't otherwise have afforded it or done it. So yeah, just things
Absolutely.
like that.
Wonderful. I love that. That really, as
Yeah.
I said, heart-centered and just heartfelt. It's wonderful. So, Yuri, thank you so much for sharing the incredible work that the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce is doing. Your dedication to supporting veterans, active duty military personnel, and their families is so incredibly inspiring. So for our viewers, if you want to continue the conversation with Yori or learn more about how you can support their mission, you'll find our contact information in the description of this video. And remember, at Hanging Out for a Living, we believe in the power of genuine connections and supporting each other wholeheartedly. Let's continue to build strong collaborative partnerships that drive us all towards success. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Yuri. And we'll see you on in the next episode of Hanging Out for a Living. Bye, everybody.